Hey, good morning. Get your coffee. I'll tell you what, all the blinds are pulled. Yes. It is so hot and humid out. 87% humidity. And this is what it means. So this morning I went out to see if I needed water. Yesterday I did because it was, even though it was so humid, the heat did dry out some of the ground, so I did water. But this morning, I was out there negotiating whether I should water or not. And I thought, oh, if I stay in the shade, it's not so bad. Not so bad. So I ran the dogs and had a nice little time. I don't think I was out there more than 15, 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure it wasn't quite a half an hour. Anyway, it was, well, maybe it was closer to 20, 25. Anyway, so staying mostly in the shade. Come in the house, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I'm wet with sweat. It was this humidity's weird. I think I was so cool from being inside and being in the shade that I didn't feel the heat building up. I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but it is weirdly humid out. And it happens every summer this time. I call it weirdly humid because since I moved to Tennessee this last 5 years, I haven't quite experienced humidity like this. Just like when I moved out to Portland, Oregon, I had never experienced that many types of rain before. And when I lived in Minnesota, I lived there several years, and I had never experienced the different types of ice and snow and the damage that can be caused. Was interesting. Like I had a friend slam her or shut her door, and she didn't realize she didn't slam it. She's just an upper East Coast girl, so she's just kind of flippant maybe. But her back windshield shattered. Different things like that happen. Like you don't want to wear anything vinyl in 0-degree weather. Yeah. Anyway, I've been basically in the house I've gotten out a couple times, but I've been in the house a lot. Frankie heated up pretty good, so now he's under the bed. It's so cool under there. I'm going to be cleaning house today and catching up on the rest of my laundry. Here's what I'm going to talk about today. This subject has come up so many times recently about aging and how we have to adjust ourselves and our environment to be able to negotiate older age and how our bodies change. My hair's a mess. I don't even care because I'm cleaning house and I'm going to soak in. Then I'm going to take a quick shower and then soak in the tub. I'm going to try a foundation I haven't tried in a while, just for funsies. I'm going to try this is that moisturizing, it's too light for me. It's that moisturizing makeup that I like so much. It doesn't say moisturizing, it's that L'Oreal. So these droppers are worthless. Why? What a bad design. You know what? I don't want to boycott this makeup because I love this makeup. It's just that there are better ways of figuring out a top for that. A plain old top. The dropper is just an annoyance to me. But I smeared it on my hand, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just do that. But because this one's a little dark for me, I'm going to use something that... This is actually a mixture of different makeups, but it's darker than what I have there. So I'm going to... See? Just a little bit darker. So I'm going to mix these two together. And I'm going to use my... It still smells good. I'm going to use my little... What do you call these? Blunt brush? Blunt brush? I don't know. There seems to be a name for it. I just can't remember. Oh, okay. So back to getting older. My godmother, has recently been taken to a dementia memory nursing home. Very sad. And my adopted mom, I have all these women who have been friends of, or parents of friends of mine growing up. And I'm so fortunate most parents seem to really like me. That was a problem with boyfriends too. I'd have to tell them when we were dating, hey, if you like me, that's great. But if you introduce me to your parents and you're not in love with me, don't do it. Because otherwise, I have to break up with your family too. And that wouldn't be fair. Because I always wanted a family. You know, I didn't grow up with like parents and a home and siblings to hang out with and enjoy board games. So I don't know. Anyway, talks about these women and talking with a couple of my friends about it. One's an acquaintance and one's a dear friend up in Minnesota. Oh, I just love her. We have such honest, open talks. You know what? It's fun to put the first layer on with this, but honestly, it doesn't stay clean enough, long enough for me to invest in any more of them. I mean, I could apply makeup with almost any brush, or for that matter, sponge, because that's really what I'm using it for. But so there's no sense in me spending a bunch of money on those. They're not important enough to me to clean them as often as they need cleaned. And matter of fact, I can't put it over to clean that today. Let's see. Here's another one. Let's see how this one works. For some reason, I love these short, stubby brushes, but maybe it's just not condensed. It's not tight enough. It looks good, but I've used it enough now, and I've washed them enough now. I see what's happening. It's not condensed enough. So look out for that. When you're using a foundation brush, see these stubbies, that's awesome. But they need to be super, I have one in here. Here it is. This brush is super dense. This brush is super dense. And it's almost, it needed to be cut like this one instead of flat. I'm going to try this one to apply foundation again. I didn't like it the one time I tried it, but we'll see. Now, I like this one too. See how small that is? That might be fun to use. I'm not going to do it right now because I want to get on topic. Yeah, if you take the sponge on makeup that isn't smoothing well and you just roll it, it pushes the makeup down in all those pores pretty well. I mean, not perfectly, but hey. Oh, you can't even see me. Good grief. Sorry about that. I don't know how those fancy makeup artists do it where you can see the whole face and put on makeup, but I'm not a makeup artist, so. Okay, back to the subject. Okay, so with an aging body, there's some things that I started doing that I'd read in, you know, a little tip here and a little tip there. And I had read a book, and I'm completely wrong about the title. I can't find the right book. I looked for it for a long time, but it reminded me of a book that I've bought a couple times thinking that was it. I wish I could find it. But anyway, this lady gives several tips on food storage, how to get up in the morning, how to go to bed at night, you know, based on your body type, if you sweat a lot, if you can wear your PJs again to save on laundry. It was all about making your life easier. That there were certain clothes that it was okay to wear twice or 3 times or even more if you rotate your clothes. How often you should change your bedding depending on how much you sweat. Seriously. How to make your bed. For instance, for someone who's aging and wanting to save time and ease. So she said something, the way I remember it was, and this is what I did. Buy bedding that you can lay in your bed in the morning and spread out your arms and legs to pretty much make your bed from the inside out. From the inside out. And I've been doing that for years. What else? Oh, and how getting out of bed can be so stiff. Oh, so stiff to get out of bed sometimes. Yeah. And so she talked about how you can, under the blankets or take the, you know, throw the blankets over and do some gentle movements while you're still in bed. Nobody cares if you put on your yoga clothes to do a few stretches. Nobody cares. And oral hygiene, that if it makes you uncomfortable, like, this is true. I was young when all the fancy toothpaste started coming out. Before that, it was Crest and Colgate. That was it, or baking soda. So then Aim and Gleam and one that I used for a long time because it's supposed to make your teeth the whitest. Oh, what was that called? I can't even remember now. Oh my gosh. Came in a stand-up white bottle and it stood up down and had this little tiny nozzle about this big that this liquidy toothpaste came out of. What was that called? I'll think of it as soon as I hang up. Anyway, so she was saying, you know, all you really need is to have a wet toothbrush. Get your toothbrush, have it wet, and if you don't have water, don't worry about it, like if you're out and about. But that's what got me to carrying, back then we didn't have bottled water, but you could carry a little mini bottle of mouthwash. They had come out with some small bottles back then, so you could use the bottle and then put in water or mouthwash or whatever. And so you could actually carry a little toothbrush in your purse. Lots of us did that, or dental floss, but I used a toothbrush, and just brush your teeth throughout the day lightly, not scrubbing, no toothpaste, just do that, rinse out your toothbrush, rinse out with mouthwash, and that killed all the bacteria, broke everything up. And a lot of us didn't have any problems at the dentist. I always had pretty good dental exams as far as how I cared for my teeth. However, I had a genetic issue where I've had so many root canals, teeth rotting from the inside out. I think my guess is because I was so anemic as a baby and a young kid. All right, here's Frankie. Say good morning. Come on. Hi. Hi. You're facing the wrong way, though. Oh, you're just using me. Okay. Yeah, he got out there and he had to cool off too, huh? So anyway, my point is there are a lot of ways to make our life easier. Little ways. I have my makeup table, for instance, not just set up to be pretty. It's set up for ease. Here's the deal. Most people in my generation were raised that your home had to be ready for company at all times. There was a time when there were books and articles and magazine articles all written to help women be presentable at all times and to have perfect etiquette at all times. There were instructions. How to keep a beautiful home. That's a big deal. It's a big money industry too. However, the deal is if we this is one of those Temu cream eyeliners. It's not even, there's not even a brand name on it. This is cheap makeup, but it had a lot of good reviews, so I got it. And if you just look, here's another one. I don't know that I'll ever order from Temu again. A matter of fact, to tell you the truth, the first time ever, I had a credit card information being used, was it Ireland? To stay at a fancy hotel. It was like $800 a night, something like that. So thank God my credit card caught it and touched base with me, and that charge was denied to my account, thank goodness. But that didn't happen until after I used Temu. Now, it also could have been hacked from any number of other companies. But then, when you hear something often enough, it starts making you pay attention. But then I heard it on TV. Then there was a little TV blurb, I think. And then there was one on YouTube. And then I researched it a little bit. And I guess there's a lot of problems with their credit card security. And a matter of fact, I guess in their small print, they're covered in a way that they don't hold themselves liable for anything. Sounds like the pharmaceutical companies to me. They're learning, be careful when you sign up for stuff, because people are learning how to get out of being held liable. Yeah, they're setting new precedents. You know, this isn't bad. I'm just not used to it. See how it'll wear. But like I said, I don't even know what brand this is, so I'm not going to do you a lot of good. Sorry. But it's more like a a char. So it comes out a lot darker than what I usually wear. This last couple years since I switched to powder. I used to use a liquid eyeliner and I loved it. But they changed the wand on it. Revlon. But I don't even know if they have that same packaging. And that's so old, I really should throw it away. I don't know why I saved it. Memories, I guess. Okay, so here's the thing. And, you know, you don't have to be old and feeble. But if you look, I'm looking for a brush. I put it down somewhere. This is it. Okay, I'm going to see now. The deal is, we don't have to have our houses looking beautiful all the time. We don't. There's no, I mean, keep it clean. You want to be comfortable in your own home. But here's what I'm learning, is that we don't have to have everything in its place just to please other people, especially when you're people like me who I don't hardly ever have company. That's the truth. I hardly ever have company. I'm going to show you how to get the puffy part of your eyelid. If you just take whatever makeup you're using and just keep piling it on, piling it on, piling it on. First, put the first layer on like I just did. But then, I'm going to show you, see this puffy part of my eye? Just take your brush. You don't even have to be careful. Just put it right there. Memorize in your head where it feels like it's at, so you can close your eye in case you get fallout. See? Just put it right there. You don't even have to use fancy colors and shadings. Just keep layering it on. Same color, just keep layering it on. Now this is a very light color, so that's that Temu Naked palette. It's all pretty much right here that I've been using. I just blow things around. I'm going to have to replace that light gray one of these days. It looks like these are very tiny. Look at, here's my eyebrow brush. See, these are very tiny little palettes in here. But I really like these colors. I like all these colors. So that's why I have my makeup drawer laid out the way it is. It's so easy to use. My bathroom is laid out in a similar way. So here, this last week, I did something that I haven't done in a while, and that is rearrange my kitchen. And I did that because my my bursitis in my hands is getting worse. And so sometimes it really aches. It's really folded in, and I massage it to try to get it out, and that, I don't know how much that's helping, but Dr. Berg on the YouTube talks about apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of that a day. So we'll see. Maybe I'll start doing that again. But I get such a gag reflex with apple cider vinegar. And I've never liked sour anything. I know I'm babbling, but I'm kind of processing in my head too, because I'm going to clean my floors today. Housekeeping hasn't been able to make it. They are so in demand in this area, and they really do need to go to the highest bidders. And we get just squeezed in here and there because they've kept our price low, fairly low. I mean, it's still more than I ever thought, 30 years ago. But I mean, they're indispensable, and when you can trust them, and they act like they care about your home at all, and they put up with your bubbies, your little bubbies. That's a big deal. A matter of fact, where are you going, honey? Matter of fact, there's also, as we adjust our life to make it easier on ourselves. For instance, I love candles. And for me to be able to have and burn as much candles as I want, I needed more affordable candles. So I'm going to shut the door. I get my candles now from Walmart. I can get a big candle like this for $6. Yeah, this is the mainstay candle. And honestly, they smell good enough. And the other candles, I was getting to where, this is about making your life easier. I was getting to the point where the other candles that I was using, I'm not going to say their name because I don't want anybody to think I'm bashing anybody. But they were starting in my mind's eye to get expensive enough that once the room smelled nice, I was on it. I was shutting it down. And really, I like having a candle burning. And it was getting to where if you kept it burning for a long time, the room just got thicker and thicker with that smell. And these will fill up the room, but they don't get so heavy with the fragrance. And I like that too. I mean, I like a good strong smell, but not at that price, and not at the sacrifice of if I don't want that strong of a smell. Then I have to be careful. I don't know. There's some things I just don't want to spend the money on. If you get my meaning. And it's the same thing with clothes. There are a lot of clothes I just don't need anymore. And for some reason, I still kept buying clothes in a style that I thought I might need again someday. It was like, girl, this was several years ago. I wasn't 60 yet, but I started to realize, wait a minute, where am I ever going to wear a dress like that or shoes like that? I have a couple, I call them date night shoes, where I need to be hanging on somebody's arm for me to wear those shoes. I just haven't had the guts to get rid of them yet. But I should. They're taking up space, and I live in a small home. So as far as convenience goes as well, I don't have my nails or hair done anymore. If I can't do it at home, it's not going to get done. And honestly, I don't want to do it at home. I don't want to spend my time that way, making my life easier. And that way, too, if I do get sick, I don't have to worry about outgrowth, or if I'm having fun. I don't, oh God, how many times to go have fun, to go somewhere, or get invited to something. And then, like some people I know, and how I used to do it too, spend how much more money getting the extra treatments or getting treatments a week or two ahead, or a week ahead, or 3 days ahead, or whatever, before I went on vacation or before I went to a wedding. I'm over it. And I don't like those nail salons. I don't like the hair salons. Matter of fact, I've been to enough hair salons where I guess if they're just rude. The service industry is getting so sparse that it's almost like people can not only name their price, but they don't have to check their attitude. Yeah. Well, maybe it's just my bad luck because I've only been out a few times to salons, but I have no interest. And I thought, well, maybe it's because I do know this. If you dress casual and you look like you're just somebody off the street, you don't get treated as well. So I usually do try to dress up a little bit where, something that's noticeably a little classier than what I'm wearing right now. This is my house cleaning clothes. So yeah, if you're going to go out, that's another thing too. If you want to make your life easier, just know it doesn't matter what's fair or what's right. We know, research knows, it's been done over and over again. If you want to be treated well, wear some decent shoes, wear clean clothes, wear some eyeliner. That's right. That's right. Do you remember, people my age, do you remember when Starbucks first opened? Do you remember how everyone that worked for Starbucks, and I mean everyone, wore eyeliner, thick eyeliner, even if they didn't have any other makeup on? True story. Eyeliner and I think mascara. That's it. Yep, that's a true story. Because research showed that eyeliner made it look like you were a notch above, right? That other eyeliner wearers saw you as an equal, and people who didn't wear eyeliner saw you as somebody of authority. So those baristas made good money, and it was part of the draw to come in, is that you got to buy belonging to something better, higher than just everything off the street with a cup of coffee. That's why they could demand so much for each cup of coffee. Holy cow. Oh, mascara. So, what else? Oh, so I rearranged where some of my pots and pan lids are to make them easier, because I had them in a bin in a cupboard. And oh, so much noise and clutter and trying to get it out. I hate that noise. So I moved them to a cupboard in a dish drainer that stands out plates. So I did that. So I'm going to see how that works. And even though I have to walk across the room to get those lids, guess what? I hardly ever use lids. I almost always use a screen. And I have that screen in a drawer underneath my stove that I use all the time. What else did I move? Oh, I moved my thermal cups. I used the same 2 thermal cups all the time, hardly ever use one of the other ones. So I moved it over in the cupboard in the dining room area with pots and pan lids. Huh, how about that? Okay, so here's something else. So I had nice, I really liked them. My nose is itching so bad, I'm sorry. Oh. Rugs in front of my kitchen counter space between the island, and then I had one a long hallway rug, and there's stiff carpet, nice and plush. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. And one time while back, the housekeepers had to leave early, and so the rugs weren't put down yet because the floors were still a little damp. So I went to put them down later after the floors dried, and I'm telling you what, manhandling those rugs was a big deal for me. And because when I do the floors without them, I just work around those rugs. I don't take them out and beat them like they do, or take them outside and vacuum them. I don't do that. So what I did was, the last time they were rolled up, I did not have them put them back down. I didn't put them back down. I rolled them up, put them in storage, and I think I'm going to let my husband use them out in the garage. So he has somewhere to stand for his workbench. That's where he spends most of his time, so he will appreciate that. Hopefully. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, and I have been wearing shoes more often around the house, comfy shoes or flip-flops, because of my bony feet. So it works out. I don't need to trip over those rugs or adjust my walking for them. And the floors are easy to clean. So yeah, there are little ways. I rearranged the silverware drawer, and instead of having the spices up in the cupboard, trying to move them around, I arranged the silverware drawers, and I only have a few drawers in the kitchen. My kitchen's small. I mean, as far as like top drawers. I have some bottom drawers, but I like, you know, how our top drawers are our favorite drawers. I learned, don't use one of those top drawers for a junk drawer, or a second drawer for a junk drawer. Matter of fact, there should not be a junk drawer. There should not be a junk drawer. I don't have space in my kitchen for a junk drawer. Junk drawer. So anyway, one of the greatest things ever, and a tip I picked up, was to lay down the spice bottles in one of my drawers. Easy to use. I don't have to pick through everything. And now I had a cupboard where I can put mixing bowls, which I end up using quite a bit of. Yes. My plasticware doesn't go in some cupboard down at the bottom like almost everybody I grew up with. They go in drawers. So the bowls that I use the most, plastic that I use the most, go in one drawer, and all the lids go kind of separated in the drawer right below it. So it's easy access. It's right there. I use those all the time. And I got rid of stuff that I don't ever use. I used to save, I got this from growing up poor. Every time we had like, I can't believe it's butter, or a country crock, or a whipped cream plastic container, I was like, oh, free plasticware. Yay! Right? So I had grown up with tons of plasticware. I moved with them. I used them for packing and storage and food and organization. I mean, don't forget to save those if you need them. But I've gotten to a place where I've got so much that I didn't have to save all those. I could cut back and just keep the ones that I liked And the ones that are wearing out, replace them with something new. I didn't need all of that. Plus, we eat Chinese food often enough that I have a lot of free plasticware from that too. So I don't think I'll ever not have enough plasticware. Easy slipping shoes. Oh, here's another thing too, is because of my fingers, there were a couple of my button-up shirts that I just didn't like wearing anymore. And so I gave those shirts away. And now I have some shirts that have a little bit bigger buttons, and those are much easier for me. Love that. Also, for around the house, I lived in jeans. But for around the house, I use those stretchy pants. I never thought it. When I was a kid, we made fun of old ladies who wore elastic waisted pants. And now that's the thing. It's so funny. Oh, and I wanted to show you another tip. Since I don't color my hair anymore or get my nails done anymore, I'll show you one of the tricks that I use for my nails. Is I'll have a lip gloss and I'll put it on my nails. This is after you're dressed. After you're dressed, pick out a lip gloss color that you like. And I've got makeup under that one nail. Matter of fact, I keep a lip gloss in my car. Now that I did that really fast and sloppy, so I got it all over the top of my fingers, but you get the idea. I have makeup under that one. I must have got mascara under there. There we go. So if I get my pictures taken. Now my nails are before and after. Now you don't want this all over your clothes, so you can kind of wipe off most of it so it doesn't smear on anything. And it still looks better, right? And also, I usually have my nails cut off. I can usually cut them off, and so imagine those without any tips. Doesn't that look good? Yeah. So we don't have to make things so hard. You know what? I knew when I made this video, I wouldn't be making any earth-shattering conversation today. I just missed y'all and wanted to hear from you, wanted your input on some little tips, and thought this was a good subject. So if you have some tips about how you make your life easier, like I make my life easier with makeup. I do not spend my money on a bunch of fancy makeup, hardly ever. I do sometimes see sales and stock up, but I try to keep it all organized and tighten the caps down, put them in a plastic bin, put them in a dark, cool place. What else? Oh, I keep batteries handy. I take them out of their packages and I have them in a little bin. So if I need a battery, I can just go grab it real quick. So put any of your tips in there. I got to go get busy. I hear stuff going on in the house, and so I'm going to let y'all go. Love you. Have a great day. Say hi. You don't have to subscribe, but say hi or leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you. Bye for now.